the decision. I already knew I was going to quit. I just hadn't decided when. After the call light, after the monitor voice, after seeing the corner, something in me had shifted. But I told myself I needed one more paycheck, one more shift. That was my mistake. 2. The building felt different. From the moment I walked in, the air felt wrong. Not colder, not darker, just aware. The third floor was unusually quiet. Even the residents who normally wandered at night were asleep. At 11:52 p.m., I passed room 312. The door was closed, but I heard something inside. A soft scrape, like wood moving across the floor. The chair had been removed weeks ago. 3. Waiting for 12:17. I stayed at the nurse's station. I didn't want to look at the hallway clock, but I kept glancing anyway. 12:14, 12:15. The monitor was silent. No static, no breathing. 12:16. The overhead lights flickered once, then steadied. The call panel remained dark. 12:17 came. Nothing happened. For the first time since I'd worked there, nothing. And somehow that was worse. For the delay. At 12:18 a.m., the call panel lit up. Room 312, assistance required. My stomach dropped. It had never been late before. Never. The red glow at the end of the hallway flicked on. But this time, the door was already open. 5 inside. I don't remember deciding to walk toward it. I just remember standing in the doorway. The room was completely empty. No chair, no bed, no furniture. The corner looked normal, flat, silent. The call light cord had been removed entirely. The wall where it once hung was blank. I stepped inside. The air felt tight in my chest. Behind me, the door slowly closed. 6. The voice without a speaker. There was no monitor in the room, no electronics, no wiring, but I heard it clearly, breathing, not from the hallway, not from the station, from inside the room with me. Then a whisper, right beside my ear. You stayed. I spun around. No one. The corner darkened slightly, not dramatically, just enough to notice. 7. Understanding. A thought entered my head that didn't feel like my own. It doesn't move when someone is watching. Daniel had watched it. The staff had interrupted it by entering the room. But when they stopped responding immediately, it had time. And when I started coming into the room at 12:17, it stopped moving again. Because I was there, watching. The breathing deepened. The corner seemed farther away, or the room seemed smaller. I couldn't tell which. 8. The shift forward. I blinked, and the darkness was no longer in the corner. It was slightly closer to the center of the room. Still shapeless, still not fully formed, but undeniably present. My heart pounded so loudly I could barely hear anything else. The whisper came again. Don't look away. My eyes burned, but I didn't blink. I didn't move, because somewhere deep inside me, I knew if I stopped watching it, it would move again. 9. The trade. Minutes passed, or seconds. Time didn't feel real anymore. The breathing slowed, then matched my own. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. The darkness stopped advancing. Very slowly, I backed toward the door. It didn't follow. I reached behind me and felt the handle. The whisper came one last time. Someone has to watch. The door opened. The hallway lights were normal. The red glow was gone. The call panel was blank. 10. After I left. I quit the next morning. No explanation. Just signed the form and left. 3 weeks later, I received a text from a former coworker. A new night aide had started. On her second shift, she reported something strange. At exactly 12:17 a.m., the motion sensor outside room 312 triggered. When she checked the hallway camera footage later, she saw something odd. The door to 312 was closed. But through the narrow window, there was a figure inside, standing in the center of the room, facing the corner, watching. Security couldn't identify the person. The room was supposed to be empty, but the footage was clear. A silhouette, still, unmoving, and for a split second, it looked like me.